Hello everyone, welcome to our birdhouse building program. So this program is a take-along program, so you're going to be able to pick up your birdhouse and a set of instructions and put together your own birdhouse. But firstly, let's talk about why birdhouses are important. And so we want to have birds around because they are incredible at pest control. They eat a lot of bugs and critters that we don't necessarily want around our houses. And they're also important for conservation purposes. While they keep insect populations in check, some birds act as pollinators, and they help to disperse seeds for different types of plants, which help the ecosystems that they're in. And another great thing about birds is that they're very interesting to watch. And there's so many types of species of birds that it's very interesting just to be able to look at and to observe them. And so a lot of people use bird watching as a hobby or a leisure activity. And so that's another reason why we might want to have birds around us. So there's a couple different ways to attract birds. We can attract them to us through bird feeders and through birdhouses. And so if we give them a place to live and something to eat, they're more likely to stay in an area. And so birds use birdhouses for a multitude of reasons. Birdhouses are a good place for birds to build their nests. It's a good place for birds to lay their eggs and raise their babies. But additionally, birds also use birdhouses as shelter from predators and also shelter from harsh weather, storms and cold temperatures, and it's a good place for them to keep warm and keep huddled up and make it through difficult times. But also birds use birdhouses as a shelter during times when they migrate after flying long distances. And so humans have used birdhouses for lots and lots and lots of time. They found that birdhouses date back to the 15th and the 16th century, and people used to make them out of baskets, out of clay, and even out of birch bark. And they would use these to catch birds and to collect their eggs. So there are actually two different kinds of birds. There's primary cavity nesters, which are birds that create their own nesting cavity. An example of this type of bird is a woodpecker. But there are also secondary cavity nesters, which are birds that do not or cannot create their own cavity to nest in. And so an example of these are the kestrel, the wood duck, songbirds, house sparrows, starlings. But we are going to be creating birdhouses for secondary cavity nesters, like the ones that I just listed. So let's get started. When you get your birdhouse kit, there's going to be quite a few different pieces, and you're also going to have a set of instructions. But I'm going to go through and give you a quick rundown of how to build your birdhouse. So in your set, there is going to be a very small piece. That's the first one. You will also have a piece that is the front door, and you can tell because it's going to have a hole in it. You're going to have two walls, and you can tell these are the walls because of the angle on the top. So you're going to have two of these. You are going to have a ceiling, and this is your most medium-sized piece. And then you're also going to have a back, and you can tell it's the back because it's going to have a hole drilled in the top in the center, and that's where you're going to be able to nail your birdhouse to hang it up. So, to start, you are going to take that smallest piece, and the smallest piece has two sides which are longer than the other two. So on the two longest sides, you're going to attach the walls, and the walls again are the ones with the angles. So you're going to take your walls and attach them to the longest side. And you should be able to tell because it should be flush. And so once you have nailed those in, you're going to take your back wall. And remember, it's the back wall because there's a hole drilled. And so you're going to take your back wall and line it up with the side of the wall that angles upwards. And so you're going to use 5 nails to attach the back wall to the bottom and the side walls. And so once you have that nailed, you are going to take your front door. The front door has the large hole in it for the bird to come in. And you're going to nail it to the front of your house. And this one's going to take 5 nails. You're going to do 1, 2 on the sides, 1 on the bottom, and 2 on the other side. And once you have those nailed in, it's time to attach your roof. And so your roof is going to have a side that's just a little bit angled, and it's also going to have 4 pre-drilled holes. And so you're going to be able to line that up with your back wall, and then you're going to be able to use those 4 pre-drilled holes in order to nail in the roof of your birdhouse. And so once everything's nailed together, there you go. Just make sure that you're being careful when you're using your hammers, and you pick up all the nails when you're done so you don't accidentally step on some. And thank you for participating in our birdhouse program, and I'm sure all the birds thank you for participating as well. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye.